My life feels just like it did the summer of my eighth grade year because I remember that summer so distinctly because it was a summer that I had nothing to do and I had no friends to do it with. And so I sat and I just kind of watched TV. I watched all of Doctor Who that summer. And I tried to go outside and be outside, but when you're outside for a certain amount of time, it's like, okay, if I can't really explore anything new, then I don't need necessarily be out here. And then you try to do weird little projects, but I think the hardest thing about starting creative projects is finishing them right now because on a normal day-to-day basis without all of this my creative process revolves around lots of things happening at once and multiple projects happening at once, and those projects all having a reason to be completed or maybe a deadline to be completed on, but all of those things are out the window. I don't really have a reason to write music other than I feel like I should sometimes. And sometimes I want to, but then you start and then it becomes tedious and then you get frustrated and then you go, okay, why am I putting so much energy into this if I'm not even going to like the result that much? So being creative has been a really massive struggle for me in the past few weeks. I'm still doing it, but it's what's interesting is the projects that I'm ending up finishing aren't the projects I expected to finish. Um, I've hoped to write a ton of music in this time, but instead I've carved a wooden spoon and I wood burned a fishing spear. I can use those things. And I think that's the bottom line of the end of it is like, well, what do I do with the music when I'm done? I can't play it for anybody, at least right now. Thinking maybe way far ahead, but not right now. And, uh, you know, I can use a wooden spoon. I don't need to, but I could. So for some reason, that's the kind of stuff that I've been able to work on. Um, but being bored is ultimately a good thing for me. And I've known that for a long, long time. That's something that I had to work hard to learn, but I've finally come to terms with the fact that, it's really important for my creativity if I have some extended periods of true boredom, and one of the things I struggle with too is the fact that even though I was just raving about how nice it is, the fact that everyone is so easily accessible to me by phone and by FaceTime, it means that I'm not as bored as I could be. And I think that sometimes I try to like ignore people so that I can get to that fullest boredom extent so that I can unlock my greatest creative potential. But it's hard to do because then my friends get mad that I'm not talking to them. And so it's like, wow, I don't know, there's a weird balance there, and I still quite haven't quite haven't quite figured it out.
I mean, it's good that you're finding the positive in this, I guess. I like the wooden spoon though. It's interesting that you're able to like find the motivation to work on that, and less so the music.